Story 2. The Night Bus. Expanded. One late evening, I was waiting for a bus at a deserted stop. It was cold, and I was starting to get annoyed that the bus was late. The streetlights flickered, casting long shadows on the empty street. Finally, I saw headlights in the distance. The bus pulled up, its engine humming softly. I got on, relieved to be out of the cold. The bus was empty except for the driver and one woman sitting at the back. She was dressed in an old-fashioned coat and hat, her face hidden in the shadows. I sat near the door so I could get off quickly at my stop. The bus moved slowly, and I noticed there was nothing visible outside the windows, just thick fog. After a few minutes, the woman suddenly shouted, "You shouldn't have gotten on!" I turned around, but she was gone. The driver had disappeared too. The bus kept moving on its own. I tried to open the doors, but they wouldn't budge. Panic set in as the bus sped through the fog. I banged on the windows, but no one was outside to hear me. The interior lights flickered, and the air grew colder. I could see my breath as I struggled to stay calm. Suddenly, the bus stopped, and the doors opened. I ran out and found myself in a cemetery. The fog was so thick I could barely see a few feet ahead. Behind me, I heard a loud bang. The bus was gone. I wandered through the cemetery, my heart racing. The tombstones were old and weathered, their inscriptions barely legible. I finally found a gate and stumbled out onto a quiet street. I had no idea where I was, but I knew I had to get away from that place. A few years later, I told this story to a friend who worked as a bus driver. He turned pale and said he'd heard of such a bus. They called it the Ghost Route. Legend had it that the bus appeared on foggy nights, picking up those who were in the wrong place at the wrong time, and those who boarded it never returned.